Yo! What is up? Today we're going to be ranking the Star Wars movies and shows, every single one of them that I've seen. I haven't seen a couple. I'll explain my tiers here. S is really love it, A is really like it, B is really like it, C is like it, D is and F is this is not good. We're going to start off in release date order, so with A New Hope. It's the classic hero's journey by Joseph Campbell. It's Luke Skywalker coming in, saving the day, the farm boy. It's a bit outdated, of course, but that doesn't bother me, and it's really not that outdated. It more just feels like a retro film, and this thing was pushing boundaries at the time. So this movie is pretty good. It's going B tier. Uh, Definitely some flaws. The lightsaber fight, they're just two old guys hitting each other with a stick. That definitely could have been better. I don't like how there's two Death Stars, and I'm more putting that on this one. I shouldn't really be putting that on any of the movies, but I don't like how there's a Death Star in episode 4 and 6. Moving on. Episode 5. We're giving it a. Come on, an S tier. This is an S tier movie. Uh, First off, the poster, that is fire. It's definitely the best one out of any of them. Hoth, you start there. It's great. It's iconic location. But I think the movie gets even better from there. Luke heads to Dagobah and trains with Yoda. Yoda, another character, just makes the movie so much better. Then we're moving on to Cloud City with Lando. Lando's another nice addition, and Cloud City overall is so amazing. You got Lando betraying them. Then you have Luke versus Vader. Tell me that blue versus red lightsaber isn't the most iconic shot of all time in Star Wars. That lightsaber battle was stupendous. And you have the reveal at the end. Vader is Luke's father. Episode 6 starts off at Jabba's sail barge. And when you get introduced to Luke, you're like, oh shoot, this guy's like a professional now. He's good at this Jedi stuff. The Ewoks, that's a common talking point of this film. They're good. They're good. They're better than some other species that we get in the later movies. Then we have the Luke versus Vader 2, also iconic. Vader coming back, throwing the Empire down the shaft. Great. I also like in the newer edition when they're showing all the planets at the end. And then there's the Gungan that yells, "Wisa free." This one is also going S tier. I'd say probably below Empire. Then if we go on, it is now 16 years later, but it's actually 29 years before A New Hope. We have Phantom Menace. This is another B tier for me. It's kind of similar. It's kind of a prequel to a prequel. It's disconnected in that way. Like it's 10 years before the other two movies. Politics is a big issue in this one. We have like the trade war for Naboo, and a lot of people don't like that. I don't mind that. I find that kind of interesting. Gungans, though, they're kind of stupid. I do like all the stereotypes in this film. You have the Japanese trade war with the Nemoidians. You have the Gungans who are like these Caribbean guys, and you have Watto, who's definitely Jewish. Um, Duel of the Fates. Such a good song. Such a good fight. Darth Maul, kind of pointless, let's be real here. In the movies, he just looked cool and said, "It's time to reveal ourselves." I don't even know. Okay. Attack of the Clones. The CGI in this one is horrible. I love when they're in the ring and Geonosis and they jump on those creatures. It looks so bad. Also, the Anakin Padme romance. Not good. Obi-Wan's search for the missing planet. Kind of boring at points, although we get the goat Dexter. He is great. Episode 2 will be getting a C. I like the Geonosis at the end, even though the CGI, as I said, is kind of bad. All the Jedi there. I do find it weird how they're all humans and then there's like not all humans. That's one thing I've always noticed when they're standing in that ring. It's just like, who are these people? They're just random people. They're not, I guess it's just extras, but Next up, Revenge of the Sith. We all know this one is good. This is pinnacle of Star Wars. We have like 5 lightsaber fights, which is probably a bit much, but I've always thought this. The prequels are so much better in concept than execution. Like the concept and the story of like this Clone War sounds so cool, but then episode 2 is just kind of eh. And I think that's really good that the Clone Wars expanded on that. We'll get to that. But yeah, Revenge of the Sith, so good. Anakin versus Obi-Wan on Mustafar. That's probably my favorite stretch of film of all time. Revenge of the Sith is getting a S. I think it's gonna go below Empire for me, just because Empire is a better overall movie versus Revenge of the Sith feels like a more Star Warsy type thing, but it's going in between Empire and Return of the Jedi. Next up, I'm including Clone Wars 2003, the 2D animated one. And this has some insane character designs, first of all. Like, the most outrageous proportions. Clone Wars, the newer 3D one, has this too, but this series goes to extreme lengths. The moments in this thing are just epic. I love the Mace Windu versus the giant compressing earthquake machine. That is so funny. Then we got Clone Wars. This has some extremely high highs. Some lows, of course, some arcs aren't as good as the others. I like the weird arcs, like the droid one when they're on that planet and then there's the clone there. That one's funny. I know George Lucas loves that one. I think Umbara is probably my favorite. The design, Pong Krell. I like all the Darth Maul stuff, definitely expanding on the character. And this definitely gets better as it goes on. Seasons 1 and 2 are not as good versus the later ones. So that is going to be getting an A. The Clone Wars movie is going to be getting a D from me. I find this movie boring. The animation is the early seasons of Clone Wars, which is not very good, and it shows how much it's improved. And then it's pretty much for me a lower tier Clone Wars arc. Rebels is so close with Clone Wars for me. Like these two are interchangeable. This also gets better as it progresses. You're sticking with one group of characters the entire time, which is nice. And season 3 and 4 are probably my favorite animated Star Wars that we've gotten. You get Thrawn, then you have all the Lothal stuff, and then you're approaching like A New Hope. It keeps getting better. Season 3 and 4, and the end of season 2 too, are all so good. Force Awakens is next, and this one's interesting because it, like visually, this is great. This is the most advanced technology we've had at the time for a Star Wars movie, and it looks great. And I think if we go back in time and we just have episode 7 and not 8 and 9 yet, we're looking at a C. So this one's getting a C. I don't really like where we are at this point. Like, I don't like how the First Order even exists without the explanation. But you got some interesting characters, new characters. Finn, the former stormtrooper, that's interesting. Why do the stormtroopers exist again? Don't really know. Poe Dameron, he's cool, he's a bro. Rey could have been interesting. The older cast is all back, and then we have like Luke. Ooh, where's he at? You have Snoke. There's some intrigue there. Who is he? And I think it ultimately gets lowered by the others, the next two in the trilogy, but we won't factor those. I also have the iconic line, "Tell that to Conja Club." Peak. Rogue One. This is so good. The start of this one jumps around a lot. It feels like you're just flying from place to place to place, but it definitely settles down as you keep going. Andor to Rogue One to A New Hope pipeline improves all three of those things. Like it's just so good going from one to the next to the next. And we get some iconic new characters. Cassian Andor, Chirrut Imwa, Bodhi Rook, Baze Malbus. Come on, tell me these guys are not fire. And they all die, but that's fine by me. Also, the romance here. Is this a romance? I don't know. I'm watching this after I finish Andor, and I'm like, I think this is a platonic friendship between Jyn and Cassian. And that's how we're going to determine it, because they never do kiss. It looks like they're about to when they're in that elevator at the end, but I think they just hug when the planet's about to blow up. A tier, I think. This is so close to an S. Like, this is bordering, but I'm not going to put it up there. It's so close. Last Jedi. There's some creative parts to this film. I like the throne room fight. That's just cool. The Luke and Rey training. That's stupid. The Canto bite. Why is that 30 minutes long? Who knows? Rose is kind of boring, and it kind of ruins Finn, and this starts Finn's. Last Jedi is getting a F tier from me. Just not good. Solo. This is a fun backstory. Did it need to exist? Uh, Kind of got screwed over. And like, there's so many different directors, and then the Darth Maul at the end, and Kira, it made it seem like we were supposed to be getting more there. Maybe we'll get more in this new Darth Maul show. I was not sure if it was necessary, but I did enjoy it. This one is getting another C tier from me, which means I liked it. Moving on, we have Star Wars Resistance. This sucked. F tier. Then we have The Mandalorian. The first season was so good. It felt like a breath of fresh air, and we're approaching some new stuff. The Western theme of Star Wars, just so much fun to watch. Second season was good too. I feel like it did need to move in this direction with Ahsoka being in it and Luke Skywalker in the end, but I think it should have. I don't know if it needed to end there, but I definitely do not think Grogu should have came back, especially in the way that he did. And the third season fell back a lot. I think this season could have been good if we just were focused on the Mandalorians. And I know we were kind of trying to do that with Grogu being the next Mandalorian foundling, but I think we could have just done without that. Rise of Skywalker. Somehow Palpatine returned. Why is there 1,000 Star Destroyers and it feels less intimidating than like one TIE fighter and other properties? Who knows? Now it's raining. Hopefully this doesn't affect this. It's bad. It's not good. And this brings up my point about the sequels. How the heck did they not plan anything? They just said, all right, we'll make this one, we'll make this one. No, let's go back to this one. It angers me. They didn't plan a single thing. How did they do that? I know they didn't plan the original trilogy, but they kind of did. Like, we had a general sense of what was going to happen, and then we had the different directors, Irvin Kershner directing Empire, and some other guy directing Return of the Jedi. I can't remember his name, but they definitely added some elements there, but we knew generally what was going to happen. Prequels were definitely all planned out. The sequels, I just don't get it. So another F tier here. Book of Boba Fett. I loved the first episode with the Sand People. Gave them backstory, gave Boba Fett. Oh, he escaped from the Sarlacc. We get Leica Bantha, yes? Why does episode 5 exist? Why is the Mandalorian in this show? The speeder bikes, the super slow speeder bikes, people hate those. I kind of like them. They're funny. Not sure they fit, but this show is just a disappointment, especially after the first episode. This is getting a D from me. Bad Batch. This is kind of a mix of Clone Wars and Rebels. You're staying with a consistent cast of characters, but they're clones, of course, and it's more in the early Imperial times, so in between the two. And this looks great. It's by far their best animation yet. Like, you're impressed. Like, some of this stuff looks better than some of the live action they've produced. So this one is getting a B from me. I don't like the story as much. I'm not as interested as Rebels or the Clone Wars. Visions. Some of these stories are good, some of them are bad. It's getting a C. Of course, we were all excited for Obi-Wan. Ewan McGregor, he's back. After watching it, I'm like, did we really need this? I don't like Leia being in the show at all. I get Obi-Wan was essentially doing nothing at this point, so we needed to give him some story with the Inquisitors. But I kind of like the idea of him just hiding out on Tatooine for 20 years. And there doesn't need to be a story. Or if there is, it's just him doing stuff on Tatooine. Maybe he can be doing some stuff with like Bail Organa. But even then, they're talking about him like he's an old friend and they haven't seen him in years. So I don't even know. Maybe some contact with Yoda. But other than that, I don't know if we needed this show. And yeah. Another D tier. This is these shows, man. These shows, man. Andor. This is the best Star Wars of all time. This is the best show of all time. Every character is not likable, but so complex and well developed. I could go on and on about each individual character, but I'm trying to keep this quick. The story is intense and interesting. Like, you were tense at half the time because every arc had something that kept you interested and you were focused and on the screen at all times. It was so good. No other Star Wars has emotional moments like this, even episode 3. Just gonna say it. And it looks better than every other Star Wars show, too. Like, this show looks good. They must have spent way more money on it. I didn't do research on that, but it looks way better than the other shows. Andor will, of course, be getting an S. This is going at the top of the tier list. This inspired me to even make this tier list because I was just so... It gets me back into it. Tales of the Jedi. I liked the Ahsoka arc less than the Dooku arc. I liked the first episode of the Ahsoka arc, but the other two were kind of boring. So, this one is getting a C. Ahsoka. This one might be a hot take, but I didn't really enjoy Ahsoka that much. It looked cheap. I'm just gonna say it. I didn't like how it looked. Like, Andor looked 10 times better. The lightsabers are not the same. In the prequels, the original trilogy, they were using sticks and whacking each other. Now they're using like these light up ones, and they just don't look as good. I don't like the Rebels characters in live action. I don't think they're portrayed very well. And the era doesn't interest me at all. I do not care about the New Republic politics. I don't care about that era. I think Mandalorian worked fine here because it was more focused on being a Western and kind of in the outer rim, not really focused on the essential of what's going on in the galaxy. Ahsoka. It's a D for me. It's hard to say. You'd think I love the Rebels too. I was a big advocate for Lars Mikkelsen just portraying Thrawn, but after seeing it on screen, I'm not sure I like it. The Acolyte, this was just boring and meh. Kind of the same, like the visuals look the same. Jedi were there, some bad acting, some good acting, but overall, it's fine that it's got canceled. Acolyte is getting an F from me. Like, even like canceling season 2 moves it down to an F as well. Like, maybe it would have been a D, but there's not even going to be a second season. Why should I care? It's a D. All right, F. Skeleton Crew. Is this the most unexpected banger of all time? This is Goonies Star Wars. It is so much fun, and I was not expecting it at all. I didn't even watch the first episodes when they came out, but this show was so good. It's getting a B. B is good. Bonus round, holiday special. It's bad, but it's so bad it's funny. It's one of those movies of Chewbacca's family. We got Lumpy, we got the grandpa, we got them watching some weird stuff. That one guy on the TV doing the cooking show. We got the VR headsets watching the guy dance around and throwing stuff. We have Chewbacca's grandpa watching some sus stuff. So, it's funny overall. We got Luke wearing way too much makeup. What's going on there? I love it. I'm not going to rank it, but I just wanted to discuss how much I love the holiday special. That is all for this time. I'll see you next time. We'll be doing something else. Maybe another GeoGuessr. The algorithm loved that one, and I know I could do better on that. So,